irresponsible, but okay. You lose a toy, that's one thing, but you lose parents. Just, some people are just too irresponsible to have parents. No, I lost 2 parents myself, so no more parents for me. You'll end up in places that you're comfortable in life, not places where you're happy necessarily, but places where you're comfortable, because your life seeks an equilibrium. And it happens at that unconscious level. So until you make the unconscious conscious, you're going to do what you've always done, and you're just going to call it fate. But to dig into that unconscious, that's the scary part of you. So it'll always be in proportion. The joy of your life will always be in proportion to the willingness on your part to work for it. So it won't happen by chance, man. I would suggest 2 clarifications from what you're saying. One of them I think you probably already mean, which is that sorry, my mind's in 10 different directions at the moment. One of which would be that maturity, it comes from what you've been through, but it isn't so much that you kind of like, I just think of it this way. You'll hear this all the time. The bad things that have happened to you, you've just got to forget about them. And I'll suggest to you, that's not really the best way to go. In other words, you can't pretend like they didn't exist. Or they say, or better yet, the bad things that happen to you, you can't let them affect you. You should let them affect you. It's because here's the thing, it's going to. It's guaranteed. It's a promise. Whatever you go through in life, good and bad, is going to affect you. Now the question is, how does it affect you? Do you let it affect you and you just passively receive it and then you deal with the fallout at the end? Or do you let it, or do you accept the fact that it's going to affect you, but take control of it and say, I was hurt in this one relationship, so you know what I'm going to do? You could either become jaded and angry and hostile, fold your arms and say, I'll never let anybody get close to me again. In fact, I'm going to hurt people because I've been hurt. But then it's still affecting you. It's allowing you to become a worse person. Or do you say, you know what, I just have to ignore it, forget about it. No, now it's in your unconscious. Remember, unless you take your unconscious into the conscious, you're going to do what you've always done. And you're going to call it fate. And you won't even know why you're doing those things. I've said to you before that one of the absolute guarantees I can make to you in life is that you're going to end up in relationships that confirm what you think about yourself. If you think highly of yourself and you're in a relationship with a person who treats you badly, you will not stay in that relationship. It's not going to be because you have a Yas Queen moment or a Yas King moment and say, I know my worth. That's not how it's going to happen. If you're sitting there saying, know your worth, here's one of the guarantees I can make to you. You don't know your worth. You either overestimate it or you underestimate it. But you're pumping yourself up because you understand unconsciously that you don't know what it is. To know your worth does not necessarily mean to assume it's incredibly high. It means to know what it is. It might be high. It might be low. If it's low, it can still be changed. But you're not going to wake up one day and just go, you know what, I know my worth. I'm out of this relationship. No. You're going to leave the relationship in some other way, and you're going to find a way unconsciously to get out of it because it's going to make you uncomfortable. And you won't even know why, maybe, unless you realize why, which is to bring it from the unconscious into the conscious. I think highly of myself. This person's treating me in a way that makes me, that doesn't quite match with that, which messes with my entire landscape view of existence and the world. So therefore, I can't be there because it makes me uncomfortable. So far, so good. If you think lowly of yourself, though, and someone treats you really, really well, the exact same thing is going to happen. Yeah, it's a great relationship. Oh, they treat me so well. I'm so happy in it. And then you're going to do something that's going to ruin it, either on your end or you're going to superimpose something on the other person. I know that motherfucker's cheating on me. I know it, 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 until you know it to the point that you actually lead to it. Or to the point that now you start doing other things unconsciously, like, do you have to throw your fucking socks on the ground all the time? The hamper's right there. Dude, okay, but it's not about the socks. It's because you unconsciously suspect them of that. But you don't really suspect them of it. You just assume that they probably will because you think lowly of yourself. And so you're going to unconsciously do little things in the relationship to sabotage it. And you won't even know why. You're going to call it fate. You'll be in a relationship with, if you think well of yourself, you'll be in a relationship with the person who treats you that way. If you think lowly of yourself, you'll be in a relationship with someone who treats you that way, within a little bit of variation, of course. So how do you guarantee a better relationship? To know your worth and to build it. See what you are in reality. I don't know about you guys, man. Why not? What good is a philosopher who doesn't anger people, right? Most people don't know. Most people who say that, their worth is usually down here. That's why they're trying to say that. They're trying to convince themselves of something. Nothing is everything. If you're that person, I'm not saying it's you. I'm not saying you're trash, but I'm just saying overall, people have to announce things for a reason. If I come in here tomorrow and say, guys, listen up, I'm a good person, okay? Look, right here, good person. One thing I can guarantee you, not a good person. You have people, I know you have people in your lives who are constantly, I would never. Or you know what? We need to stand up for this thing. Why are they doing that? I always say, wow, that's a good person right there. That's a good person right there. One of my favorite ones, I had a picture of somebody in my neighborhood who had a sign up in their yard about, I'm trying to remember exactly what it said, a picture of it. But essentially it says something to the effect of, walls dehumanize. And what was this person trying to make a statement about? The wall that Trump wanted to build between Mexico and the US, because walls dehumanize us. And you can sit and go, wow, that's neat. They posted it right behind the fence that they have built around their house. And I took a picture of it, I was like, that's a good person right there, good person. I had a person in my neighborhood who had a mural of George Floyd painted on their garage door. I wish I got a picture of that, because I looked at that person, I had to throw my brain. Wow, a good person right there. That is a good person. The mural's no longer there. They had a fucking ceremony. I mean that. I drove past it while they were doing it. They're all holding hands in this circle for St. Floyd. And then I came back later on and it was all painted out. And then it was painted with stuff about Ukraine. That was when the Ukraine war broke out. And I just stopped and go, good people right there. Look at that. They care about all the latest stuff. It's Floyd, and then it was Ukraine. I can't wait to see how they express their goodness later. Why are they telling me, why are they doing this stuff? Because they want us to know that they're good. I bet you these are horrible people in their regular lives. I would almost guarantee it, man, because that's what the experience tells us. If you have to, my uncle is one of the smartest men who have ever lived. I can guarantee you this. And I know he's brilliant because he's told me. I'm glad he told me. If he didn't tell me, I would never have known. I would have thought, wow, a guy who bankrupts 3 businesses, fails in 3 marriages, and then becomes a state senator. That's a brilliant man right there, huh? That's a guy who fails in his business life, fails in his professional life, and what does he naturally do? Well, let me get into politics and tell everybody else how to live their lives. I don't know about you guys, but yeah, a good person right there. What a good person. The people that have to come in and tell you all the time how good they are, probably not so good. The person who comes along and says, you can't accept me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. Probably at their worst a lot. And in fact, their worst is probably just their normal. I can't wait to see them at their worst. I have a feeling they're going to show up on a website someday at their worst, in the mugshot, somewhere in Florida. Yeah. And so you'll end up in places that you're comfortable in life, not places where you're happy necessarily, but places where you're comfortable because your life seeks an equilibrium. And it happens at that unconscious level. So until you make the unconscious conscious, you're going to do what you've always done, and you're just going to call it fate. But to dig into that unconscious, that's the scary part of you. And so it will always be in proportion. The joy of your life will always be in proportion to the willingness on your part to work for it. So, and it won't happen by chance, man. Others? Happy Thursday again, yeah? Maybe next Thursday.